This is part two of the stories I found about the Jackson family's enslaved ancestors. In part one, we were talking about Michael Jackson's paternal great-great-grandfather, a slave named July. I'm Andre, and I'm a genealogist who helps people to discover their history. The Jackson family's oral history was written down by Joe Jackson. He wrote it in a book that was published in Germany. In the book, he says that they descend from a slave girl named Gina. However, I cannot find any documentation of a slave named Gina that had any connections with July. I did, however, find out that July's owners, Josiah Gale and Mary Gale, owned a female slave named Jinny. I believe that she is an ancestor of the Jackson family. Let me tell you about Jinny. The first known mentioning of Jinny was when Josiah Gale wrote his will on May 16, 1828. He first wished that all his slaves be kept on the plantation, quote, with the stock of horses and cattle and worked together until my youngest child becomes of age, end quote. He also wished that after each of his children married, his executors were to purchase, quote, one Negro apiece, male or female as they may desire, end quote. Further, he wished that after his youngest child became of age, an equal division be made of all property, and that, quote, they first accounting for the Negroes they have received, except Jinny, which I give to my wife exclusively during her life, and after her death, then to be equally divided among the children. In piecing together the few scraps of information I found in the archives about Jinny, it seems that she was born sometime around 1820, which means that she was around 8 years old when Josiah Gale had bequeathed her to become the exclusive slave owned by his wife, Mary Gale. The intention was most likely for Jinny to be a domestic slave of Mary's. She would have been a chambermaid, a cook, a seamstress, somebody who would have tended to every whim that Mary Gale had at just such a young age. But we need to understand that slavery obliterates childhood. Joy James wrote, intimacy and bonding dissipated into the loss of childhood and motherhood as understood among the free. A slave child is a slave. A slave mother is a slave. Their social standing is obliterated by their captivity. Expressed in the concept of time means that there is no sacred time or protected time of Black childhood under white governance or colonialism or occupation or war. The time of captivity does not recognize childhood or motherhood as possessing